Okay, and we are live, my man. Looking fresh in that new gear. Tell me about it.
Support your friends, man. SYF. I just think that we need to create some type of positive energy around your friends. I think that, me in my young 41 years, I've watched, my friends try to do certain things and, including myself. And I think that great things happen when you support your friends. So,
Right.
it's it's just a phrase that I kind of coined because I just think that if we have more people supporting their friends, I just think that the world will be a better place and there'll be more successful stories, more successful people. And I think ultimately everybody will be happy if you just support the person next to you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. See, when I describe people about you, they're like, "Oh, so Rashad." For those that don't even know you, because a lot of people know you. So for those that don't, I'm just talking to my family about him, and I'm like, "Yeah, he was a baller, 23-19, all this." I'm like,
Yeah.
really? I'm like, yeah. But the one thing that stands out to me is when we go to these Magic games, like you were just so helpful, and like that's kind of what your shirt's talking about, and just so supportive. I'm like, man, I had this guy on the podcast before, but he just acted like I knew him forever. So I'm like, that's what sticks out to me. I know you're a baller and you could probably beat everyone in basketball that I know. But to me, what makes you unique is just how willing you are to help others and support others. And for someone who could be egotistical, someone who could be like, hey, I'm on a high platform, I don't need to talk to you. You act like you're right on anybody's level, no matter who it is. And that's honestly, like from a friend to a friend, that's what I dig the most about you.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot, and it's what I stand for. It's where I come from. It's my roots, both of my parents. I just love to see people do great things, and I just like I said, if we can just have more people, if you just support the person right next to you, you don't understand how that can help you too. So support your friends.
I love it, man. So, of course, you dropped a gem already from your Twitter. I saw that support your friends. I'm like, oh man, that was deep when I was scrolling through the timeline. And I'm like, he's so right though. But then another thing that I always notice, follow Rashad on Twitter, is you picked now you anybody can reflect. And I talked about this on my Instagram. It's
Yeah,
easy. You can see, you could turn on Sports Center, turn on Fox Sports. Oh, the Bucks won. Giannis is good. It's easy to reflect. But what's hard is to project and do honestly what you do is evaluate talent, who has the most transferable skills, who's really going to pop,
yeah.
what are people missing with this player. So I picked out, and I know you have a lot of takes with a lot of things, but what stuck out to me the most
Hmm.
was Kawhi Leonard in your MJ comparison,
Yeah.
Steph Curry and how valuable he is, Trey Young and how he's going to just shock the league. And you also had, I'm missing one more off the top of my head, Trey Young
D'Angelo Russell.
and D'Angelo Russell. I mean, this guy got traded off the Lakers. He
Yeah.
had quote unquote ego issues, attitude issues, locker room cancer. So
Mhm.
for you to have faith in someone who everyone written off, and now he just had the best season of his career,
Yeah.
that's pretty unbelievable. So what made you choose those particular players to really invest in?
When I look at the game of basketball, I always try to find guys that remind me of myself.
Right.
And outside of that, just guys who play the game the way that I would pay for a ticket to watch them play.
Right.
So I'll look at a guy and say, that's the person that I will actually pay my hard-earned money to watch play the game of basketball. So when I'm able to do that, there's not a lot of guys that I would actually pay money to watch play. So those four in particular, this season just kind of caught my eye, and I was able to really dig into the film. And not only that, just have that feel of the type of player that they can become. And
Right.
I know, Steph Curry's been great since he's been at Davis, and Trey Young's a McDonald's All American. Kawhi was a NBA champion. D'Angelo Russell was the number 2 pick. I get all of that, but it was for me to dig deeper into them and understand and take the people that follow me, to take them deeper into the mind of a Kawhi Leonard, take them into the mind of a Trey Young, a D'Angelo Russell. And I think when you see a lot of scouts, they will give you the surface level of a player. And what I try to do is take you inside the mind of a player. So when you feel like you're in the mind of Kawhi Leonard, what does Kawhi Leonard's eyes see? And that's what I try to paint pictures of players all the time. I try to take you in their bodies and let you see what they see. And you feel like you are victorious because in some fashion, you feel like you are out there with them. So that's why those four guys were relatively my favorite guys to follow this season.
Wow. I have never heard anyone describe it like that. That's deep. That's next level. Now, I've had the pleasure to go with you to these Magic games and cover some of them and really pick your brain. I know I don't stop talking. I'm like, man, this guy's he's got like an encyclopedia up here. I got to just keep reading the pages. But one thing I've noticed is your relationship with Trey Young. So we mentioned all these players.
Yeah.
How that relationship just seems to get stronger and stronger and stronger. Yeah. And do you see, like you just said, you picture yourself in the mind of the player and what they see? But do you see a lot of him in you?
Yeah.
Him.
Yeah, absolutely. I do. From the standpoint of he's a point guard. I was a point guard. He's not very big. I'm not big. Great scorers, great passers. And not only that, but just was always given the narrative that you can't play this game.
Right.
So from that standpoint, I've always saw myself in Trey, but not just Trey Young, but all the 6 foot, 6'1", 5'9", 5'10" point guards, because we're all given that script. This is your script. Stick to this script. You're not big enough. You don't supposed to shoot threes. You don't supposed to score a lot. So that kind of I gravitated to Trey in that fashion. And this over time, again, I think Trey comes from a wonderful family. His father, Ray, is fantastic. His mom, Candace, is terrific. His sisters, his younger brother. So I just got involved with the family. Me and his dad have always been cool. And it's just been a great friendship, a great partnership. And I just love watching the kid grow and continue to see him soar in the NBA.
Yeah, when I interviewed him, too, like in the locker room, I was so impressed with the way he handles things at such a young age. It's like usually you think rookies, they don't really know how to handle the media as well as he handled it like he's been in that locker room for 10 years. And I was like, whoa, he's got that next level intelligence, that self-awareness, that magnetism that now everybody's talking about sports shows. Yeah. But all right.
You know what's funny? This is what's funny, Max, is that I use that word on purpose. That was my code word because I said, if I use this word and I hear this word on TV, I know they got it from me. Nobody's saying magnetism. Nobody's using that word.
Now I hear it nonstop. No matter what channel I flip on, it's Colin Cowell. It's ESPN. It's magnetism. Zion Williamson, magnetism. RJ Barrett, magnetism. I'm like, man, are they going to give you your respect?
Over time, it'll happen.
But all right, so let's talk about the draft. Like you said, you really do a great job. I don't really know anyone that evaluates talent the way you do and really break it down just from the way they carry themselves, the way they view the game, the way they play the game, transferable skills. So is there any player in this draft? Of course, everyone loves Zion. I love Zion. People like Ja Morant.
Me too.
Yeah. Ja Morant is somebody that I feel is your next guy. I should have added him to that list of people that you really broken down to. What did you see in him early? Because nobody saw Ja Morant the way you did. Like now people know him. They like, Ja Morant, he's going to be great. You were talking about him before all of this. What did you see and how did you know he was going to develop this quickly?
I saw a dynamic point guard, and there's things that he can do that nobody else at his position in college basketball can do at that time. Right. If you go back, I tweeted about him last year in December, like his fourth game of the season. And the funny thing about that tweet, I've never said this, is that I said he was the best do-it-all freshman in the country. There's nobody else better. Do you know Trey Young was in college at the same time when I said that?
Wow.
So a lot of people don't know that. Last year, Trey Young and Ja Morant were in college at the same time. So when I sent off that tweet, they both were freshmen, but they both were different players in my mind. Trey is more like me. Ja is alien. He's a different type of player. He's more like Iverson, John Wall, De'Aaron Fox. Like they just are so dynamic from a quick twitch standpoint, from a speed standpoint, and they're explosive. So that's what I saw in that kid early on. I saw him back in high school, so I knew that this kid was going to be a top 10 pick, and I said it. I mean, I just went out on a limb. It wasn't a limb to me, but it's a limb to everybody else. In my mind, through my eyes, when I was in Ja Morant's body and what I saw that this kid was a top 10 pick.
Wow. You're getting too deep on me. I just saw Avengers. I may see this in the next movie as a superpower. But no, I remember seeing it. And one of my friends, my best friend, came to me and he was like, I'm not giving away all your secrets. Don't worry. That's about it, you guys. But Rob came to me and he was like, you seen Ja Morant? I'm like, bro, I've been watching Ja Morant ever since Rashad tweeted about him.
You know, a lot of once that tweet went out, I think people started to just watch him. But still, when I said NBA player, they were like, what? NBA player? I'm like, he's a first round pick. And then he just started to roll. And I'm so proud of him, of what he's been able to do and what he will accomplish at the NBA level. He'll be sensational. He's dynamic. And he represents the mid-major point guard. Like he's the greatest mid-major point guard that we've ever seen.
Wow. I like it. So I pulled up a couple mock drafts here, and I'm looking at them. And, of course, they vary, right? We all know Zion's going 1, probably Ja Morant, RJ Barrett. Now, there's one guy that you've been saying is a gem, and I'm like, I completely agree with you. I think he'll be better than RJ Barrett, and that is Cam Reddish. And I'm looking at these mock drafts, and I see like the Atlanta Hawks, a lot of them have Brandon Clark from Gonzaga going to him, and then he falls to 9 to the Wizards. And I know you're a Cam guy, so if you were able to go into the Atlanta Hawks' front office, say, why should you take Cam Reddish over Brandon Clark?
Yeah, well, because what you want to do when you're building a franchise, what Atlanta's doing a great job of right now, you already got your quarterback in place. So let's talk football terms. You get your quarterback, you get your left tackle, right? You get your running back and your wide receiver. So Trey has the left tackle in John Collins. He has the running back in Kevin Huerter. Now Cam Reddish will be his Randy Moss. This is why you don't pass on Cam Reddish if you're the Atlanta Hawks. You build it like a football team. Quarterback, left tackle, running back, wide out. That's what I would tell Atlanta, and that's why you don't pass on Cam Reddish at 8.
Now, that was a great analogy. Do you see they have a lot of breakthrough players coming up, but do you see the Hawks really skipping on Cam Reddish? Like, if you had to bet your money on it, do you see him really falling to the Wizards?
No, I don't see that. I don't see it. A 6'8", 6'9", Tracy McGrady-ish type of player. I don't see him slipping to 9. I don't see the Hawks passing on Cam Reddish.
I think he complements Trey Young extremely well. You touched on something. I was watching it, and I feel like my Twitter feed's like Rashad Phillips, a couple Fox Sports guys, Rashad Phillips. So I'm looking at.
I got Twitter fingers, man.
Yeah. I love it. And I was like, you said something, the stride. And I was watching the game. I don't know what game it was. It was during the tournament. He was kind of injured, and the stride. And you could tell he just has that NBA stride where the collegiate game's obviously more packed, clog the paint. The NBA game is more spread out, more three-point shooting. And I'm like, he really does seem to have that, and that's why I think he will be better than RJ Barrett. I don't know if that's labeled as a hot take. I'm not trying it to be, but I do see those transferable skills from that stride that you were talking about.
Yeah, he just possesses natural like fluidity when he plays the game. Like even when the ball's not in his hands and when it is in his hands, he just has a natural flow to himself, which I
Right.
know will carry over to the next level. And it's a lot of players in the draft, they have a raw ability, but Cam, everything he does is fluid and it's natural. Even when he misses jump shots, because I hear people say he only shot this percentage. He didn't, but everything he does is fluid. His jump shots, his mechanics, the way he plays the game, the way he plays defense, everything is just fluid and smooth. Yes, he doesn't play with that fire, that passion, that go get you, that rah-rah. But usually when guys are that talented, that's kind of the trade-off.
Right.
God don't give you everything. Okay, there has to be something missing there. So yes, his motor's maybe not the greatest motor in the world. That's why you put him with Trey Young, because Cam needs to be around somebody that's going to make him great. And that's why the Hawks can't pass on him at 8. I don't even think he'll be there at 8. But if he is there at 8, Atlanta take him.
And I'm not trying to say I'm some basketball expert or have the level of knowledge you do when it comes to scouting, but I do feel I understand the game to the point where I think the general public would see stats. They see Buddy Hield, they see I'm sorry, Jimmer Fredette, and like, oh, that guy scored a lot of points. He's gonna be the guy that's gonna be a star in the NBA. And they would look at someone who their field goal percentage may not reflect their overall game. Oh, he's not going to be as good. But somebody like you, and I feel like someone like myself, you're able to tell it's not about the stats. It's about the transferable skills and the mechanics.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. All right, Rashad, I have to ask you this one, though. I have to. Zion Williamson, right? So he went to the Pelicans. I'm watching the draft, the lottery, and I'm a Lakers fan. I'm not like a so diehard biased where I know we're going to win a championship next year. I'm not saying that, but what I noticed, I was happy that we got in the top 4. I do think there is a gap between the 3 and the 4, but I was like, you know what? I would want him to go to the Knicks, even though I'm not a Knicks fan. I would want him to go there. It's a good story. I think it'd be really good for him, the franchise, major market. And when I found out he went to the Pelicans, I was like, damn, I do like Griffin, the GM, and I think Zion is that special player where he can do a lot of good things to a bad franchise, but it's not typically, look at Anthony Davis, just because you're a talented player doesn't mean you could just turn everything around by yourself.
Yeah, there's data there that we can go off of.
Yeah, so my question to you would be, now there's rumors that the Pelicans may want to trade the Knicks, so you get Anthony Davis in the East, and you get his brother, his former Duke teammate, RJ Barrett in there, so it kind of helps morale in the locker room, maybe assets, Dennis Smith Jr., whatnot. Do you think that would be what you would advise to the Pelicans GM, or do you think someone like, because it seems to be a two-headed race with the Lakers and the Knicks. You have the Lakers who could offer Kuzma, but then you have Brandon Ingram and his health is a question. Lonzo Ball is kind of injury-prone right now. Josh Hart. What if you were in the Pelicans front office, you're talking to Griffin, you're sitting down with him, what is the more attractive offer? Is it boosting the morale, or is it getting the proven commodity in Kuzma?
I would boost the morale of the team if I was running it. I just think the Lakers, I don't want to say damaged goods, but I just don't think that the young core at LA is as good as advertised. I think they're good, but everybody, the general, makes them like they're great. But if they were great, they wouldn't be on the trading block. So,
right.
If I'm the New Orleans Pelicans, if I had to make a trade, it would probably be with the Knicks or the Celtics, because there's some guys over there in Boston that don't like being in that locker room. So you may want to call the phone, get on your phone, and call Danny Ainge up and see what they can do as well.
That's another thing you and I both agreed on is Kyrie Irving. I think Brad Stevens does a lot with less, but he's never handled this many egos before. And although on roster, on paper, it looks, oh, you're stacked. Egos is, I feel like, almost 50% of coaching right now in the NBA is dealing with egos and personalities.
It is.
So you see Kyrie leaving. Do you see him like it's like a foregone conclusion? He's definitely leaving.
Yeah, I think he's gone. That locker room is just not. I don't think the locker room is repairable in Boston. You
Yeah.
know, just from my sources and what I've heard, I just don't think that it's repairable. And I just don't think Kyrie. I don't think he ever wanted to go to Boston in the first place. I really don't. I don't think he was elated to be there. I just think he was like, well, they're a winning team. Let me see what I can do. But I don't think he wanted to go there initially. He just put on a good face, collected his money, and he's maybe the most talented player in the NBA. But you have to factor in the temperament, you have to factor in the leadership qualities, you have to factor in human nature, and I knew that was a disaster from day one. And I told people, and it's nothing against Kyrie, it just wasn't a good mix.
Yeah, and like you said, it wasn't on his list. He had like for where he'd want to get traded to, I think it was like Knicks, Miami, San Antonio, and there was like one other. But yeah, back to your point, Boston was not on there.
He never wanted to go to Boston. Never wanted to go there. Boston was better with Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
They were better. That's factual. That's documented. And they were better with Terry Rozier too.
Which is crazy. People are like, oh, well, he's not better than Kyrie, but it's just a better fit. It's just a better fit.
Fit.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll get back to the Lakers because that's my team. So let's say Kyrie leaves. I don't know if you have him joining LeBron, if you have him going to New York.
I don't know. I don't even know.
Yeah. I don't think he knows.
I don't even think he knows. So how are we going to know?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've heard people ask, and I'm just like, I don't think he knows. So I can't sit up here and pretend like, yeah, Kyrie's going to do this, that, and the other. I'm not that kind of dude. If I don't know, I don't know. And I don't think Kyrie Irving really has a grasp on what he really wants to do. I think he's asking around his friends, like, what's the best scenario for me? I think he's figuring that out as we speak.
Yeah, I think LeBron's on the phone. I think Kevin Durant may be on the phone, and
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, let's talk about Kevin Durant. And like I said, it's always easy to reflect, but it's harder to project. And you've been on the money with a lot of things, so I have to ask: do you think this Durant to the Knicks has legs? Like, is it a legitimate thing, or you think it's going to happen?
That has legs. I think he's gone in Golden State. I just think these last couple of games, I think that the Warriors are actually playing with a little chip on their shoulder to let Durant know, we don't really need you, buddy. We don't really need you. We're good. Thanks for coming over here, helping us. We needed you to take down LeBron at one time, but we didn't really need you to stick around for that many years. So thanks for your services. Appreciate it. We still friends. You can go over to your other team now. We'll do what we were doing before you got here. Thanks. That's how we're playing.
That's an interesting point, and I agree with you. Kevin Durant may be the better player, but Steph Curry's clearly the most valuable Warrior on that court. The record shows it. The resume shows it. I put a post, Rashad, and I had people coming at me that I even just fathomed the thought of, if he wins a fourth title, let's just say Kevin Durant doesn't even play. This would even help my argument even more. And if he were to win this title, get his fourth ring from a point guard. There you go. From a point guard's point of view, as the greatest shooter of all time, 2 MVPs, first ever unanimous MVP, 4 rings, is there ever a chance he catches up to Magic Johnson?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I mean, as far as rings, if he gets you, I mean, you can't deny that. That's just what it is. I think Steph Curry doesn't get the credit he's supposed to get because he doesn't do 360 dunks. He's not tall. He's a suburban kid. He comes from two good parents, well-off parents. So he is almost like you punish him because he's had it good. So you don't really want to give him more credit than that. That's just what I see, and I think a lot of other people see that. And I say we, as in general, the public, we're fascinated with tall, long arms, giant hands. Like we're fascinated with these mutant of basketball players, and Steph Curry doesn't fit that narrative. So
Right.
Kevin Durant always gets Kevin Durant's better, and you say how? Then the first thing they say, oh, he's 7 feet. It's like, well, but what is he better in? Is he a better shooter? No. Can he dribble better? No. Can he pass better? No. So how's he better? Oh, because he's 7 feet and he got long arms. You see what I'm saying? So it's like when we talk about basketball, and I told you this back in October, when you talk about strictly basketball skills, I think the most skilled basketball players that we've ever saw, that we'll ever see, is Kobe Bryant and Steph Curry are the most skilled basketball players that we've saw thus far. And Michael Jordan is right in there, but those two guys are high skill guys.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I see it more now than ever. I've joined the force.
You joined the force, huh?
I have. I really have. And the way you put it, most skilled. You're not saying Steph's better than Michael Jordan. You're saying just pure skill. He can match up with anybody.
Name who you want to name.
I love it. I love it. All right. I'm going to say this guy's name. You tell me where he's going and why. And if you don't know, because he may not even know, let me know.
All right.
I'm going to say Kawhi Leonard.
LA Clippers. And I just think there's going to be too much of a mess going on with the Lakers.
Yeah.
So I think Kawhi wants to go west. But I think the Clippers has the best destination because I think they got 2 max slots. Golden State's a dark horse, but I know they can't, from a money standpoint, they can't give them that. And my second choice, either he goes to the Clippers or he stays in Toronto because Toronto can offer him the most money.
Yeah.
So I picked Toronto to go to the finals in September. I stick with it. Remember, we had a draft on your show, and Kawhi Leonard was mine. I picked the Raptors to go to the finals. I stick with my pick, even though they're down right now. And if he goes to the finals, and if they win it, or if they come close, he's putting himself in a rock and a hard place because the better he plays, the more he makes it look bad if he walks away from it. You see what I'm saying? So
I'm in agreement with you. I had Milwaukee winning. I had Milwaukee winning the East, but I think if Toronto did go to the finals, how could that not persuade you a little bit to stay? You're the man, more money, went to the finals, success. But the Clippers, I think what they did, they lost to Golden State, but took them 6 games.
Yeah.
Good management, hardworking players. They seem to gel well, all want to win. I think that's also extremely attractive if he were to lose in the Eastern Conference Finals. I would bet my money on the Clippers, but I think Toronto's definitely right there as the clear second option.
Their second option. I think they're clear second option.
Cool. Okay. Now this is heartbreaking to me because I'm not even sure who the face of the Lakers is. I guess it's Rob Pelinka, according to new reports that no one's filling that void of Magic Johnson. I may be in the front office in the Lakers soon. I'm not too sure.
All right.
What do you see happening this offseason? LeBron's clearly there. There's even speculation that he may get traded. I don't think that's happening. Do you see any free agent wanting to come to this mess?
They're going to get somebody. I don't know how the Anthony Davis thing is going to work out. It's going to be a 3-team trade or something like that. It may even trade that 4th pick that they have. It may not even use that pick. But Jimmy Butler may end up there. And they may get a consolation prize point guard. If Kyrie doesn't go there, they may either get Kemba Walker. I'm hearing Kyle Lowry may be done in Toronto if they lose.
Yeah.
Somebody, I would say bring D'Angelo Russell back, but I don't know. I don't. It's hard to predict what the Lakers are going to do because I don't think the Lakers know what the Lakers are going to do. One of those same situations.
Yeah, exactly. I think you hit it right there. I don't even think they know what they're going to do. Okay, my last basketball conversation before I want you to take the floor and plug away your shirt, your website, your show is the Orlando Magic. Where do you see them projected next year? Are they taking another step forward, step back, same place? Where do you see them placing next year?
I think they stay where they're at. I think they had a real good season. A lot's going to depend on Vooch if we let him walk or we sign him.
Right.
But we're also kind of stunting the growth of Mo Bamba because he's not getting the reps. You know, we've watched with our own eyes.
Yeah.
How good Mo Bamba really is in spurts. You know, so that's going to be important to see how Orlando plays that. But again, I think the Atlanta Hawks, the Atlanta Hawks and maybe Miami that's going to be a tough conference. This going out next season, they won it this year. I remember I told you they were going to win it. They won the conference, but I think the Atlanta Hawks are going to battle them for that this next season.
I agree. Like you said, it comes down to, I think there's so many different pieces around them that are going up, and they're only going to go up. So they have to keep up with that and play Mo Bamba, damn it. Play Mo Bamba.
Play Mo Bamba, man. Come
on. Okay, the floor is yours. Please, where can people get a T-shirt, your website, your social medias, your show? Let them have it all.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, which is RP3Natural. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Sports Talk 2319. And you can go to my website, sportstalk2319.com, and click on the tab Shop, where you'll find all of my new clothing line, Support Your Friends, Unfiltered, Unbothered, Talk Soon, Let's Talk. I got stuff right here. I mean, right on deck, so I got a little bit of everything. And again, it's just for a great cause. And I appreciate you having me on your show. MVP first time. What an honor, man. What an honor to be on your show for the first time. I'm going to remember this forever, bro.
The honor's mine, man. Thank you so much. I know you're a busy guy. You have so much, but you always make time for me, and I appreciate that. I'll be buying a short here. I don't know, maybe tonight I think I'm going to get a couple of shirts, so I'm going to make sure I rep them.
Sounds good, man. It'll fill you out a little bit. Get your workout on. You be good. Support your friends.
There you go. Thank you, my man. You have a good night.
Thank you. Appreciate it.